At the last Children's and Families Scrutiny meeting, we heard Julian Worcester apologise for the way in which the proposed changes to the PIMST team were being mishandled. I feel that these revelations are extremely alarming and give rise to concerns about the integrity and accountability of Somerset County Council in general. How is it possible that officers at the County Council can make decisions about the future support of children with disabilities and even go so far as to issue redundancy notices to staff with no consultation, no scrutiny and no cabinet decision? Who are the members of the Council who took these unauthorised decisions, and what will the consequence be for them for these actions? How can members of the public be reassured that other decisions are not being made at Somerset County Council without any form of scrutiny or public accountability? The handling of this matter goes way beyond a simple mistake which can be brushed aside with an apology. It calls into question the very fabric of the County Council and warrants swift, robust and transparent investigation. And when will I receive written answers to the questions that I asked at the scrutiny meeting on the 20th of April? Thank you.
It's been nearly 1 month since the decision for a 6-month hold on the PIMST cuts was put in place, and proper consultations were promised. When will these consultations take place? In the answer to my question from the 16th of March, who is going to assess what communication aid our son needs, it says the local authority have retained support from Senitas. But in a leaflet I found the other day, it says Senitas includes an information technology advisor, a specialist communication advisor, as well as support assistant advisors. So who has been retained? On the 20th of April at the scrutiny meeting, a lot of councillors would have received this pie chart. I believe it is inaccurate. It shows 1 member of staff in the purple area for assisted technology. If you look at the leaflet, it will clearly say that there are more members of staff. I'll happily show you the leaflet if you wish to see it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I won't read a lot of this out because a lot of it was already asked at the Scrutiny Committee recently. But I will ask, do the County Councillors endorse the recommendations in the recently published report, Proposed Change in Support Services for Education, a Parent Carers View? The one question I did ask at scrutiny, have all the elected members on this committee and others had regular sight and access to the risk register of the issues, Rob? And finally, this refers to the report. Have councillors and officers considered visiting Liverpool with families to see examples of good practice? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. I'm going to ask Councillor Francis Nicholson to respond to the previous question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, my answer concerns the questions that were tabled rather than questions that were not tabled. Thank you for all 3 questions. I will provide individual responses to all of you on the questions here, particularly where that list of questions is complex and detailed. So today I will merely highlight 1 or 2 points that have been raised. First, I want to reiterate what the Director of Children's Services said at the April scrutiny meeting. Along with all other councils, we have less money to spend on this service area, and we need to make sure that our services are delivered in the most cost-effective way. I can assure you that the Council is totally committed to ensuring that children with special needs can attend and access the curriculum at their local mainstream school. This is usually best for the child and overall cost less. The Parent Carer Forum and a number of parents have made it clear that together with schools we need to do more in this area. The Director rightly apologised at the Scrutiny Committee. What the Director rightly apologised for at the Scrutiny Committee was the way in which the process had been dealt with so far. He undertook to improve communication with children and families that would be affected by any changes. He was right to do so. There was unnecessary alarm among families with very vulnerable children. As the Director had already written to parents in March, whilst there is no change in the core responsibilities of the service, how this support is provided may change for a small number of families. As promised, officers during the summer term are having individual meetings with families and schools. So far, 50% of the families mostly directed have had their meetings. And I note that Mr. and Mrs. Laurie have had 2 such meetings. And for these, there are robust plans in place. I will break off and ask the question, is it not true that you've had 2 meetings?
I've had a meeting with Emily Waters at school, but I've had no, but it wasn't told that it was a
Mrs. Laurie, could you please use the microphone so all
So
councillors
you've
can hear?
had
I've had
a meeting.
Emily Waters come to
No,
school.
just a question. How many meetings have you had with officers of the county council at school or elsewhere?
1.
Thank you. Then Mr. and Mrs.
With no
Laurie
recollection,
have
no
had 1.
letters,
And for
no
these,
record.
And for these, there are robust plans in place. These reviews have in some cases identified that schools need more support to address the needs of pupils. And in the case of another child with complex needs,
Councillor, sorry to interrupt. Could you make sure your microphone's working?
sorry, I beg your pardon, yeah. It's on that, right. It is established best practice to ensure as much as possible that a child's support needs are met by as few adults as possible. It is therefore entirely appropriate that staff are trained to the appropriate level to undertake a range of tasks. On the matter of confidence levels for decisions, risk assessments and other governance protocols, we adhere to all our policies and processes as you would expect. I have not received any information to suggest that council procedures have been breached. I and officers support the recommendations made by the Somerset Parent-Carer Forum. Decisions are made in accordance with the council's scheme of delegation, and many operational decisions are made at officer level. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.